I sometimes joke that I'm a jack of all trades and master of none because I do teach a very wide range of courses. So my name is Fred White, and I have a cross appointment between Russian Studies, so the Department of Languages and Cultures, and Integrated Studies. For those that don't know, what we do is we ask students to pick two minor areas and put them together. So I was at The Ohio State University as an undergraduate, and then I did my master's at University of Kansas. And then I took 2 years off and I went to Russia and I worked for an NGO. And when I was getting ready to come back for a PhD, I was really looking for programs that weren't the standard kind of Russian programs. I ended up picking University of Southern California because they actually let you do a secondary area of specialty in virtually anything. Mine was German philosophy, so I was interested in the influence of German philosophy on Russian thought. And so when I was leaving administration, I was coming back to the faculty. Integrated studies seemed like a perfect fit for me because I was always doing Russian and something else. You know, one of the great things about the position I'm in is I do teach a very wide range of courses. Some of that is based on student need. Some of that is just the fact that I'm really the only Russianist in the program. So whether that's a film course, whether that's a culture course, whether that's a politics course, hopefully I bring to those courses that ability to be multifaceted in our understanding of both our own culture and their culture. You know, 5 years ago, we had a lot of students who would have had a missionary experience in Russia or a Russian-speaking country, and they would come back and then they would want to continue that fluency in Russian, but then they would want to put it with something else, and often that was kind of business management, something like that. Now, we are very much more seeing people who are looking at that kind of government service line. Almost every department in the U.S. government has an international department, and almost every one of those international departments wants someone who speaks Russian and or Chinese. Because we have such a strong national security studies program, we've been pivoting very much in that direction, and that's where we're finding the synergy. Students are coming in for those kind of classes. I really do think that right now we have probably one of the most flexible Russian programs in the state. We really allow students to create their own major, even within the Russian studies side. So students can choose to only do language classes. However, if they want to mix in any of the other courses that we offer, so culture, politics, literature, film, they can. Then, of course, as I said, with the integrated studies aspect of this, they can then put that with anything else. Right now I have 2 classes that are populated by students from digital media. And so, you know, the possibilities are really broad in terms of how and what students can do with that Russian side of the equation. And I think that is the essential way to put a degree, Russian degree, together today.